What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hidden Oaks Homestead. We're back in the barn and we got hoodies on.
I know, it got cold overnight pretty quick, and it's supposed to go into the 30s.
Yeah.
This week.
We've already, unusual for Florida, we've already had our first frost back in October.
It was really early. That is
real early. It was quick. It was just
one night.
One night? Was it one night?
It was a one-nighter.
Well,
with actual, real frost.
At frost temperatures, yes. But it was cold.
It was cold for
like three
nights.
or
4 days, yeah. It was.
But yeah, temperatures are dropping. There are leaves everywhere.
Which is nice soil builder for next year,
yes.
right? We're not raking anything up.
The dogs and the goats and the donkeys are starting to build a winter coat.
I know, it's so fluffy.
It's funny. It's like the frost we had triggered their coats, yeah. And now it's hot again. It got hot again, and they had already put on their winter coats, and I think they were a little miserable.
Probably, but I mean, they're fine. They hide in the shade.
They lay around a lot. We need to quit looking at the dogs are over there.
They are over there. They're so sweet.
They're just laying around, and we keep
on looking.
Over.
We should be looking at you.
Yeah.
We should be looking at you. But yeah, it's getting a little bit frosty, which is good. We got a lot of gardening stuff done and cleanup done, and football youth season is over, so that gives us more time at the barn and in the house and around the farm and in the garden, because that was 3 or 4 times practice and one game a week.
Zachary's football schedule was crazy. You'd think he was playing in the NFL. It was 3 practices a week and then a game on Saturday, and there are no close games around here. Every game we went to was at least a 45-minute to an hour drive. So
it took away
it's nice
lot.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's nice it's over until next season.
Yeah, it took a lot of time away. I mean, basically every Saturday, and then 3 or 4 nights a week, and we didn't have time to really do anything around the house or around the farm with those weeks.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's a short-ish season. It was 2 months, 3 months?
It's 3 months, but with summer conditioning, that it felt more like 5 months, really.
Yeah, it was a lot, but
we'll do it again next year.
We'll do it again next year
because he loves it.
He does.
So,
he kind of fell in love with it. He was a little bit doubtful about it. He wasn't sure. Because he doesn't have a mean bone in his body, and he had to learn that, hey, I gotta hit people.
When you're on the football field, you gotta get nasty. But that's enough. That's enough football
talk. Is it?
That's enough football
you're
talk.
all about football. Come on.
They're not about football though.
No. So, but yeah, lots of stuff around the farm. Obviously, we had our event 2 weekends ago now.
Yeah.
And so that's given us some free time to kind of take a breather and take a break for a little bit until we start talking about the next year. But that was a good event. It was 4 times as big as last year.
Yeah,
a lot of
we
people.
had a great turnout. We had a great sponsor engagement. Really awesome vendors, food trucks. The speakers were amazing. I don't know how we were able to get that much talent together in one location to speak. It was awesome.
It was really good. Lots of good workshops and information and learning, and it was just really good getting everybody together. And it was really, really well received, especially locally. Now we've had a lot of out-of-towners there too, both from the speaker, workshop engagement, and visitors, attendees. We had them from as far away as Canada, but we had a really good reception locally with the local community, and lots of local organizations have reached out to wanting to get involved next year. So that's really cool, because that's why we started it in the first place, is kind of get the locals together.
Yeah, build community.
Build community,
sure.
And have the local knowledge, because, if you've ever gardened in Florida and grew livestock in Florida, it's different here than in other places.
Yeah, it's not as easy.
Yeah, we don't have Wisconsin grass, and we don't have like, I don't know, who's got really good soil? I don't even know.
Iowa, Indiana,
Ohio.
all those Midwestern countries,
yeah.
Kansas.
Countries. Yeah, basically countries.
States, they're states. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, so, you know, things are a little bit different down here. So it's nice to kind of be able to share what we learned and what other people have learned and tricks of the trade. So that was really cool. So now we're kind of at the end of the year, and things are just kind of slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, daylight savings time, hate it. Oh, I hate it. The weather's great. We're getting a break from the heat. That's awesome. But I get home from work at 3:30, and I've literally got about a 2-hour window before it starts getting dark.
Before it really is like pitch black now.
And within 3 hours of getting home, it's pitch black.
Day is over.
So there's a lot of stuff. I just don't have the time. Excuse me. I just don't have the time after work to really get much done with the daylight, and it's frustrating, and that just means that the weekend is that much busier, especially when you're trying to get stuff done around here and then filming for YouTube and making sure we get the next video out for you guys.
Filming, I mean, that slows everything down because holy cow, I mean, if we could just work away at it, we'd be so much faster knocking stuff out. But
when you got to worry about the timeline of the video and camera angles and lighting when you're trying to do a project,
doing some talking and explaining, but we got a lot of projects lined up for the winter. Now that it's cooling down, we've got so much. You know, when they tell you there's never a lazy day on the farm, that is definitely true. There's some stuff that we push towards the winter because we don't want to do it in 100-degree weather.
For sure.
You know, there's fences that need to be fixed, fences that need to be built. I don't think we're ever going to be done building fences around here.
Yeah. Fencing.
You know, trees to be cut down, firewood to be cut.
I love. Can I stop you?
What? Those are all chops for you.
Can I stop you and just say I love to hear you say trees that need to be cut down?
Well,
you guys don't know the struggle that we had when we bought this place. It was 20 acres, completely wooded, and she was against cutting down a single tree. And it's not like we have beautiful redwoods or live oaks. We got these stringy, mangy water oaks that go straight up for 100 feet, and they're bean poles.
There's no substance to
There's
them.
no limbs on them, and they're just right on top of each other.
But like, I needed to see it thinned out to really grasp the potential. Now, I don't need to have beautifully manicured trees all over the place because it is a farm and I do like the shade, but you know, after we did the initial clearing and the initial thinning, I'm definitely seeing the benefit where we need to do more.
Yeah, and like I've tried to explain to her 100 times that when you look at pasture, there's no trees on pasture because trees break up the sunlight, and the grass needs sun to grow. And where we are now with our pasture that's full of trees, we can't grow grass in it because there's too many trees. So we have to let the goats and we have to let the cows out of the pasture to eat because we can't grow grass in
Well, I mean, we gotta work on rotational grazing anyway.
Yeah, so
you know?
We have to build more fencing so we could get the livestock out of the pasture so that we could put trees down and work on building pasture in the fences.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Like the pasture that we're in right now is like a sandbox, and if you look outside the fencing, it's lush green grass that the cows would love to spend all day on.
Well, they did spend a little bit of time, but it's like, you know, one of the things that we learned when we were listening to Daniel Salatin, you know, who's obviously been doing that for a while, is with the whole rotational grazing is you kind of figure it out, right? You put your cows out, and as long as they don't try to escape, they're happy. Once they try to escape, you got to move them.
They're ready to go.
So that's kind of your count on days. This is how many, what did he call
cow days?
Or per whatever you fence in, right? So it's like, all right, well, that kind of makes sense. But now we got to build more permanent fencing. We got to set up some like transitional stuff where we can move it as we're moving the cows within that. And, there's so much brush and swampland that we have that the goats would really enjoy.
Then we need to put water lines down because any new pasture is going to need water access and gates.
Yeah, so there we thought we were all like organized and done for a while when we put in the water lines last year, but we didn't think far enough ahead because, again, when we did the water lines last year, we didn't have cattle. Well, we didn't have as much cattle.
Yeah.
We didn't really have plans to add a bunch more, but then, well, here we go. We inherited, sorta, kinda, a bunch of extra cows. So that's where we are with that, and we're not getting rid of them. We're probably gonna gain some more goats. Probably.
Yeah. I would like to build up our goat
milk line.
Goat farm. Whoa.
Yeah.
The sun just came out.
Yeah,
and
that's
changed,
weird. It's
changed
like
the brightness.
the sundown. That's nice though.
And the clouds.
It's a good little.
The clouds move. Is that good? That looks
it's good.
very washed out.
Nah, it's good.
Anyways, we'll just roll with it.
We'll roll with it.
Just know the sun made that change in lighting right there. It's not a setting on the camera. So, but Nicole and Amber built a bonfire.
We did.
Yeah, with my tractor.
We did. Yes. Well, with our hands. We cleaned out a lot. We got a lot of cleaning out to do, but there's a lot more to do, from trees that Sally knocked down, trees that we knocked down, the mulching. There's so much to be done. Like I could probably take a year off work and stay busy with farm work. Easy.
Yeah. So they were using my tractor to collect sticks in the bucket and then just run the tractor over to the bonfire area to build them up. And when they were done, they just, killed the engine and just left the battery power on. And then I came out to my tractor yesterday and it was dead as a doornail. Which I don't really even understand that expression, but it was dead.
I didn't know that was an expression.
No, you've never heard dead as a doornail?
Nope.
Not even Alpha German?
Nein.
Okay.
Nix.
So I got it jumped off. I got on the tractor. I had an area in the back that I needed to do some bush hogging, and I got after it. And then shortly after, I started smelling... it smelled like fuel, but it smelled like it was the exhaust, like the exhaust or something was burning rich. And then I looked, and just the engine was just draining fuel.
That was not my fault.
Just fuel everywhere. So
at all.
I had to turn off the engine to save my fuel and quit watering the lawn with diesel fuel. And I had an injector that somehow came loose on the engine.
Probably his fault.
It just came loose.
Just started jumping out.
What do you think? I was up there playing with igniters?
I don't know.
You're trying to pass blame. So anyways, I fixed the igniter. It's not an igniter. Injector. I fixed the injector that was leaking, and then I went to start it up to check it, and battery was dead. Couldn't get it started. So we ended up, Nicole went today to John Deere and bought a brand new 2022
battery.
John Deere battery.
Yeah. Now, note here, if you got a John Deere and you need a new battery, check your dates. Okay, because they're only under warranty for 6 months.
Yeah.
After that, you just got to pay for another one. And we were a week late in just trading it in for a new one.
Yeah, so apparently leaving the keys in the ignition and the battery power on is a running theme here at Hidden Oaks Homestead. So, because 6 months ago it happened to somebody else. Somebody else left the battery on and replaced that battery. So I told Nicole, hey, this battery might still be under warranty. That wasn't very long ago. She came back, no, not under warranty. So
I tried to play my stupid girl card. Didn't help either.
And Nicole tried to, when Nicole tried to explain it to me, she was trying to cover for Amber because Amber's the one that left the battery on. And she's like, no, they told me the battery was bad. It was a bad cell in the battery. So it's not Amber's fault. And I was like, no, it's a bad battery.
Leave her alone.
It has a bad cell.
She already feels bad. Stop it.
It has a bad cell because it was left on. So we're gonna have to come up with some kind of plan.
Payment plan.
no, just a plan to. We can't leave the keys in the ignition.
Yeah.
In the tractor anymore because it's costing too much money. We're going under.
It is adding up. The batteries are not cheap.
Batteries are adding up on the farm, and tractors don't make babies, so we don't have tractor babies to sell to recoup any losses like we have with the goats.
Oh, goodness gracious. But yeah, so lots of stuff going on and lots of work going on. It's never ending. And it's just one of those things. I mean, we're never going to be bored around here, that's for sure.
Can't be.
No, there's always stuff going on. Fencing built. I don't know how we're going to do it around the Miller Lodge because that fence just kind of started giving up.
Yeah, our first fencing project when we first got here used the wrong posts.
Yeah,
we used
and concrete.
We used 4x4 posts instead of traditional round posts when we made that fence, and the wood has rotted and they're starting to all collapse. The gates collapsed, and every day when I park my truck, I see that and I'm just like, ugh.
That's something.
So much money and time wasted on that fence.
Jeez, that
the last 2 years.
That was our motivation to get the auger, though. Remember?
Yeah, we bought the auger for the tractor
because we were tired of digging post holes by hand.
Yeah, we were through 5 or 6 post holes.
I mean, I was a cheapo then too, though. I wasn't going to buy an auger. Like, oh, well, we'll just suck it up. We're going to dig by hand. It's fine. It's going to take us a little bit longer, but
it wasn't us though.
I was digging.
No,
don't even pretend.
Okay,
I was digging.
You were doing 20% of each hole.
But it's a lot of holes.
Yeah,
it's a lot of holes. But I mean, we got the auger now. We made that investment, so
and it was a good investment.
It was. But with all the fencing that we want to get done, we'll probably just expand out what we got around the Miller Lodge, put it back into the woods. Just have a bigger area altogether, and we're probably going to end up having like a half moon shape right around the house, like all pastures, including down by the barn and stuff. So we'll have plenty of stuff to rotate them through, because a lot of it is already semi-established with stuff that's growing, and we just we're starting to overseed stuff, and we just need to get animals out of the pastures we actually have.
Yeah, we need to give this area a break, so that we can get some grass built in here.
Yeah, because it gets old having to buy hay. And so
hay should be a wintertime purchase, not a year-round thing if you have cows.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, every cattle farmer or anybody that's got livestock that's a grazer or a ruminant in general tells you got to be a grass farmer first, because otherwise you're just going to pay for hay, and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be supplemental for when there's no grass.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to be paying on hay all the time.
You shouldn't have to.
Yeah. So, but it's hard in Florida because all we got is
no, it's not
sand.
It's not hard in Florida when you drive down the back roads and there are hundreds of cows everywhere.
That's true.
It's not hard in Florida. There's grass that grows here.
It's hard in our yard.
It's hard in our yard because we put animals on the ground before we had the grass established.
Well, lessons learned.
Yeah.
Learn from us.
Yeah, we'll
if
be
you're going to
fine.
have ruminants or any kind of grazing animal
Step
whatsoever,
one is establish grass.
establish grass before you put them on it.
Yeah.
And then rotate them every so often. So definitely do the whole rotational grazing thing, which we haven't mastered that yet.
We're working. Well, we gotta have. We need to have pasture to rotate on.
Yeah. So step number 1,
Yeah.
grow grass. Step number 2, rotate them every couple of days.
We got 2 pastures. This area is cross fenced, so we have a north and a south, and we have goats on one end and cows on the other. So there's not much.
Not much.
Not much rotating.
I mean, it's
going
3
on.
acres, but it's not enough
Yeah.
to keep actual grass producing and growing. So it is what it is. We're working on it. We'll get there. But yeah, that's where we are in the wintertime. Lots of projects going on. Lots of stuff happening in the background. Lots of cleaning.
Yeah. All right.
All right. That was a quick close.
That's not the close. That's my cue for you to close.
Oh, that's my cue? Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. How are we closing? See you next time.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always,
We'll see you in the next one.
thank you.